What's up, everyone? Today we're going to talk a little bit about verse 2 that I wrote for the song, and I'm going to tell you what I tried to capture with this verse. It was actually pretty inspiring because I started off the verse with basically wanting to explain uh, that I'm not so crazy, but then kind of while I was writing that, I was like, maybe we can do something different. And yeah, hopefully through telling you guys what I wrote down, you'll see which way I chose to go with that verse. So let's start with actually the first few lines. Many try to diagnose why my mind froze into this phase of hate. Doctors tried to penetrate my brain. So what I'm basically saying is that many people um, try to diagnose why I have the things which people call me crazy for. To give you a little bit of perspective, I can get mad sometimes. And I mean very mad, but not in the sense that I would throw with stuff or that I would actually scream. Actually, I become really quiet when I'm mad, and then I become kind of withdrawn, and then I don't talk to people at all, and then I have a kind of blank stare in my face, and one thing that I can't handle that well is when I feel like someone is done wrong, or when I am done wrong. When people treat you wrong, that also rubs me the wrong way, and I act on that with usually anger or sadness or being withdrawn, and that is why I wrote these lines, because what I call a normal reaction, some people call crazy. So that's why that's there. Somewhere in the verse, I say, can't be worried, surely crazy just a label, to be able to explain, frame, feelings, process, complex. So then I kind of say, like, oh, okay, so crazy is just a label that you can put on me just to explain the behavior that I show in these moments. Okay, so that's how it is. Can you imagine asking shrink, think, anger, where did it start? And then kind of you start to see, like, oh, at least that's what I try to capture. Like, when you hear these lines, you think, like, oh, was he talking to a shrink the whole time? So that is what I hope comes across. I'm not really sure. And then my answer is, um, so she said, in the end, she said, anger, where did it start? Then I say, black heart, misunderstood, would you not be mentally affected, split in two? So then I tell her, like, would you not be mentally affected by the things that people label me as and say to me? And then in the end, I say, bomb blows if stupidity clearly shows. So it's not me, lady. Brain fine, people wasting time, hate that, get that, accept. I'm not like most, case closed, bye bye, don't cry. What I tried to capture with this verse, in the end, was me talking to a shrink and then explaining her why I am the way I am, and that I feel like the behavior that I show isn't crazy. In the first verse, I really talked about violent stuff, so killing, gore, and then the second verse is also talking about crazy, but then in the sense of behavior or the way that you act towards people. So it's still about crazy, but in a lighter form, kind of. And I also thought it was a fun twist of actually adding a shrink in the mix. And then the third verse is basically going to ask people the question, am I really crazy? Or do you portray me as crazy? That's basically the question that I want to ask in that verse. So hopefully I come up with something creative to do that. This was the video for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.